I enjoy taking pictures of anything random or somebody I met and putting it on there. That's how everybody was able to follow along. Just scan through my notes real quick. Let's see. I didn't plan a speech. I kind of wanted to let it just come to me. Logistics. I had, just from starting out, you got to get me and the vehicle to the next destination. It was point A to point B every day, so you had to figure out which hotel or which host family we were staying at. Always planning going home. There was never one day I was not planning. There was never 1 hour I was not planning something out. I had to plan out airplane tickets a month in advance, predicting where I was going to be in the United States. Sometimes I was a few hundred miles off. Sometimes I was right on, right there, getting drivers in and out. And none of my drivers can be here, but I'm very thankful I had drivers. They were awake as long as I was awake. They took care of me. They got to see the country, but it was tough. It was still tough on the drivers. Even after 2 weeks, they wanted to go back home. And I never got in any arguments with the drivers. I had to make sure that they were happy, I was happy. Yeah, it was a team. It was a team effort. Thank you, everybody who has donated. It wouldn't be possible to fund the trip without the donations. And I wasn't going to stop. I just kept going. No matter how bad it hurt, I just kept going. Lance, where's Lance at? He stepped out.
He does that a lot.
Okay. So I want to thank Lance, Anna Dina, and Eric Leslie. He can't be here. Eric was the guy behind the camera. He filmed a few of the videos we had out. And the whole staff of the BDSRA, thank you for your support. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And there is also someone who's here, Jennifer Van Houten's cousin, Annie Farnes. She can't be here now. She became more of an agent for me. I was setting up all the hotels and media myself for the first month, or maybe month and a half. Annie stepped in, and she is very persistent. It became to the point where I could call her up saying, hey, I'm 90 miles from Shreveport. Within 10 hours, she'd say, okay, you have 2 interviews, and you're staying for free at the Hilton, and then you're going to go to the Hampton Inn, then you're going to go here, and you're going to go there. So it was great. It was a big morale boost. And I also got to meet families along the way. I think I met over a dozen families, all the way from Phoenix to Tucson, Dallas area, I believe Mandeville, the Mary Peyton Miracle Foundation was out there, Florida here. Just found out there were some other families along my route. I tried to do as much research as I could to meet everybody. And it was great. It's a big morale boost just doing that. And the reason why I did it, of course, was for the kids, for everybody. I thought it was too, for me, I think a little backwards. It was crazy sitting around doing nothing. When I had this opportunity, I was not going to pass it up. I was not going to pass it up. It just kept coming back in my mind, just kept coming back. I knew it was the right thing to do, and it was awkward. It was tough at the beginning because I was putting myself in front of my entire community I grew up in, and pretty much telling everybody I was going to run across a continent with a running resume that was here. There was no running resume. So, but I knew I was doing the right thing, and I did as much research as I could, and it was great. It reminded me, I tried to wear a different t-shirt every day. I wish there was 5 years of running so I could wear everybody's t-shirt or bracelet, but I made sure I made phone calls. A lot of you parents heard from me on the road. Tried to call more than once. Back to logistics real quick, there was drop points. We had to get addresses of hotels and host families and just anywhere we could trust the packages from all across the U.S. and even Canada and Ireland and all the other countries to be shipped to, and I tried to include all the other countries too. It was quite the ride. I'm glad it's over. At the same time, I will miss the road. I saw some beautiful things, met some great people, and saw America about 3 or 4 miles an hour. And but I did it for the families. I did it for you guys because I thought it was important. I thought it was very important. I know all the parents in here would move heaven and earth if you could completely eradicate Batten disease. It's still hitting me. Still processing in my brain what's happened over the last 5 months. But it came down to two things for me, which I think kind of parallels some of the challenges that the parents face. I had two options every day, no matter what it was whether it was the road or something that came up, was I can either accept it or change it. So you're always facing something, either accepting it or changing it with my route or anything. And I just had to, I had to keep a positive attitude, and I had to stay positive and just figure it out. I had to become a problem solver. And I can no longer live in the past. One of my favorite sayings, which I got from another man who was running across America, he was going the opposite direction, was you keep looking in the, what was it? He said, you keep looking in your past, you're going to trip over the future. You're going to trip over what's in front of you. And did it for you guys. So about 50 interviews. I'm still trying to collect all the data. I've been trying to do it for a few days now, and it's so extensive that it's going to take me a few weeks to really get it all together. But I know for sure 8 newspapers, 3 magazines that I know of, 20 radio interviews, and 20 to 30 TV interviews, and that's just in the U.S., not counting the interviews I did for overseas, and Tony Heffernan helped me out in Ireland, which he wants me to run across, by the way. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but let me list some of the major cities, and we've easily reached over 1 million people, or 2 million people. Sacramento, San Diego, Yuma and Phoenix and El Paso, Midland, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Longview, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, Alexandria, which is the middle of Louisiana, Mandeville and New Orleans, Biloxi, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Panama City, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville. Those were the major media outlets that picked up the story. When you add up all the populations and even take out 90% of those populations, you're still looking at over 2 million people, and it had to start somewhere, and I'm going to be working with Lance and Adina to see what possibly we can come up with in the future. And just thank you everybody for your support. It was great, and it was great to get to know the families over the phone and in person and everything, and look forward to keep helping out, and you know, we've got to keep it going. So thank you everybody, that was good.
Actually already have him on another mission. He's going to a fundraiser in Ohio tomorrow before we fly him back to Jacksonville to drive all the way back to California Saturday. But we have a special gift for you for doing this journey. And I'd like you to open it. It's just something small because you really did make a difference. And it is engraved on the back. It's an executive desk clock that says making a difference. And we engraved that to represent your travels from California to Florida, 2,400 plus miles, for all the special families. And we're very grateful, and this is not over, you just began a new journey. You have an amazing group of family here, and they're counting on you still, and we're going to find things for him to do. So we hope you find a job first, but once you do that, we have work for you. So thanks again.
All right, well, thank you.